Drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes. I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? This is TFG Sports Show. I am your host, Kendrick Henderson. Happy Tuesday evening to you, the day after Lover's Day. I hope everyone is doing well. This is, again, your TFG Sports Show, the best 30-minute sports show on social media. I want you guys to come in and hit that like, hit that share button. Make sure you comment. Let me know you're watching so we can chit-chat. And we're going to talk some of the hottest takes in the sports world that's going on. But again, I want to say happy Tuesday. I hope it's the day after Valentine's Day. I hope everybody had a great Lover's Day. Ladies, I hope the fellas took care of you. Let me know if they did. Did you give them a gold star? Fellas, did your ladies take care of you? Hopefully it was reciprocated. I hope everybody took care of each other on yesterday. So again, you're watching the TFG Sports Show right here on YouTube and on Facebook. Make sure you come in again and like, comment, and share this to all your social media platforms. So we're gonna jump right into this thing. Yo, what's going on, Lamar? How you doing, brother? Thanks for tuning in. Before we get started, I want you guys to comment. First of all, we're gonna recap Super Bowl 56. I want you to comment who you picked. What did you think of the game? And also, I'd like to know your opinion of the halftime show. Let me know those in the comments. Let me know who you picked for the Super Bowl. Was the game all that you thought it was? And just your opinion on the halftime show. So we're going to jump right into this. We're going to recap Super Bowl 56. Again, it was played at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Inglewood always up to no good, as my man Mac 10 says, who's from Inglewood, by the way. Los Angeles Rams was able to pull it off, held off those pesky Cincinnati Bengals, and they ended up being crowned the champion, winning 23-20. The Rams finished the season at 16-5. The Bengals end their season at 13-8. And the Rams' Cooper Kupp was named the Super Bowl MVP. Now, let's get into some of the stats. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, he was 26 of 40 for 283 yards. He had 3 TDs and 2 interceptions. Again, Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp, he caught 8 for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. And wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., he caught 2 for 52 yards and 1 touchdown. And we'll talk about his injury in just a minute. Again, and now for the Bengals, quarterback Ice Cold Joe Burrow was 22 of 33 for 263 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 7 times. Running back Joe Mixon, 15 carries, 72 yards. All-world wide receiver, offensive rookie of the year, Jamar Chase had 5 balls, caught 5 balls for 72 yards. Lamar says that Houston guy lost. No, he lost more than that, Lamar. You talking about Mattress Mac. He lost $9 million total because he actually bet at $4 million one day, and then he bet at 5 the other day. Hey, Shantae, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. But no, so he lost 9. He lost cool $9 million. Shantae, I want you to come in and tell me what you think about the Super Bowl. I know who you was rooting for, the Bengals. What did you think about the game and your opinion on the halftime show? Just leave that in the comments. And wide receiver T. Higgins for the Bengals, he caught 4 balls for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rams defense, they sacked Ice Cold Joe 7 times. That was a Super Bowl record. Aaron Donald, who I thought should have been an MVP, but I ain't got a problem with Cooper Kupp. Rams, he had 4 total tackles, 3 solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 quarterback hits. Yeah, dang, Lamar. I was like, wow. I was like, ouch. Yeah. He also lost $3.5 million when he betted on the national championship game, Alabama and Georgia. He betted on Georgia. On Alabama, and Georgia won. So he's 0 for 3 his last couple of bets. He's lost a little bit of money. Von Miller, he had 2 tackles for 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Leonard Floyd had 5 total tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss for the Rams. The Rams defense really, that second half, they shut it down. Aaron Donald really took over that fourth quarter, and I think that was the difference of this game, in my opinion. Now, this is the Rams' first Super Bowl title since 1999. They were actually the St. Louis Rams then when they won the title in 99, and it's their first time representing LA in the big game since 1951. Rams winning series. We all can say, if you saw it, it was that 79-yard drive. Now, they got a little help from the Zebras, because this was a pretty clean game for us flag-wise. There weren't a lot of penalties up until that Rams last drive. Those three big penalties, one of them, and you could question all three of them. Shante says, hurt my heart, but it was a good game. Jam to the halftime show. Commercials were blah. I kind of agree with you. The commercials. I agree with everything you said. My favorite commercial was the E-Trade. I want to say. I think with the babies, and the other one, I think it was the animated one with Peyton Manning and all them. Those were my two favorite commercials of all of them. But I'm with you, Shante. I agree with you. Again, I think the game was pretty clean. The Rams only had 2 penalties for 10 yards, and the Bengals only had 4 for 31. But those 3 on that last drive, that 70-yard drive that the Rams drove and scored that touchdown, that 1-yard touchdown pass to Cooper Kupp, that was the ball game right there. Again, I said it before this game. I said it. Watch the offensive line, and the defensive line was going to be the key. I said if Cincinnati Bengals offensive line could hold up, they had a shot. And their offensive line did hold up in the first half. Second half, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, they took over, especially Aaron Donald. He was wreaking havoc in the middle of that line. And he really should have had 3 sacks, because that last pass that Burrow tried to throw to the flat, it was incomplete, but he was pretty much, I would call that a sack, in my opinion. So I thought the game was entertaining. Obviously, I was hyped and geeked about the halftime show. Again, no apologies about me. I'm a hip hop guy. I love R&B and hip hop too. I'm definitely a 90s hip hop guy, because I was in my 20s when Snoop came out with Doggy Style and Dre with Chronic and all that. So I was hyped with Mary J with What's the 411. So I was digging the halftime show. I was actually wishing they would keep the halftime show going. I could have cared less about the second half, but yeah, it was dope. And my favorite of the halftime show, I have to say, my namesake Kendrick Lamar. I thought his song that he did was dope, me personally. And he was the only millennial on the show, but that was because of his connection with Dre, and he was from Compton. He's a California native. So, but I think the Super Bowl, it probably was. It lived up to what I thought it was going to be. It was close. The Rams were only a 4.5-point favorite from Vegas anyway, so they only ended up winning by 3. Shante says refs are still wrong for those flags, laughing out loud. And I get it. They have been letting them play all game. Then that final series, those 3 flags, really, that cost the Bengals the game at the end of the day. That really did. You hate for the game to be left up into the referee's hands. One of them, 2 of them, I could see them calling it, but one of them, I was like, I don't know about that one on Cooper Kupp. He did grab him a little bit, but I don't know if he impeded him. So, but that's the way it goes. Unfortunately, somebody has to lose, somebody has to win. The Bengals had a great season. Nobody expected them to go this far. Those 7 sacks, they're going to have to get offensive line. Because actually, he's been sacked like 20 times in the playoffs, because the Titans got him 9 times. And that was 16 times, roughly 18, 19 sacks during the playoffs. Favorite commercial was the E-Trade one. That was kind of mine too. Between that one and the I think it was the animated. I don't know if it's animated, but somewhat like the claymation one with Peyton Manning and all the football players. Some of the NFL greats. So again, commercials with blah blah blah. But again, let's talk about OBJ. Where he did come back is he does have a torn ACL, and it's the second time, same leg, left leg. So, and he's a free agent. So this is really going to hurt. Normally for an ACL injury, normally takes 9 to 12, 11 months for you to come back from that. So you're looking at he wouldn't even be ready probably until this, maybe roughly December, January of next year. So this is definitely going to hurt his chances in the free agent market. Again, he's a free agent. He's not signed to the Rams to come back next year. So we're wishing for him the best. Again, that's the same knee he injured in Cleveland in 2020. So he's had 2 ACLs and he's had a broken leg. So we wish him the best, man. And you know, I saw they on Twitter, George Kittle, I believe, San Francisco 49ers, like they really do not like that turf. They said that turf is bad for your knees and for your feet. Matter of fact, is a change.org petition is being made. They want all these NFL stadiums to go to natural grass because, you know, with that turf, a lot of times it doesn't give. That's why you see a lot of injuries happen with no contact. That OBJ injury was no contact. Shante says that football one, we done killed Granny. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I think that was my favorite, Shante. And yeah, poor OBJ. So man, he won a Super Bowl. You know, his former quarterback, Old Mayfield, threw a little subliminal shot on Twitter, I want to say a day or two ago. But you know, that is, yeah, Mayfield is acting like a scorn lover. You know, just say congratulations to the guy and keep it moving. Again, let's talk about the winning head coach, Sean McVay, 36 years old. He's the youngest Super Bowl winning head coach in the history of the league. So Sean McVay wins his Super Bowl. He's 1-1 now. He lost the previous one to the New England Patriots, but he's the youngest head coach to ever win the Super Bowl. Last on the Super Bowl, the ratings. The ratings came back today. Super Bowl ratings were up 6% over last year's Super Bowl, which was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. There's an estimated viewership of 101.1 million viewers tune in to this year's Super Bowl. So NBC, NFL, they're happy because them ratings, those TV ratings, when you get an increase like that from year to year, all that means is you get a little bit of extra money, a little extra revenue. So the NFL is happy about that, and NBC is too. The Real Estate Insider says, yeah, nice. So yes, those, and it's probably going to be a little bit more because some of the platforms, some of those numbers are still coming in. So as of right now, the viewership was up 6% compared to last year, which was like at 95.6 million viewers last year when it was the Super Bowl 55. All right, let's move on to our next. We're going to talk about our Super Bowl Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2022 was announced during the NFL honors a couple of nights ago, and it kind of was hush-hush. A lot of people may not know that. Let's talk about some of the NFL honors. League MVP for the second year in a row, Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers won the MVP for the second year of the row, because of the halftime show, laughing out loud. Yeah, but the NFL honors was a couple of nights ago, the Real Estate Insider. But like I said, a lot of people may not have known it was on. I think it was on either Wednesday or Thursday night. I can't remember. But the NFL honors, some of the league awards that was picked up before we talk about the class of 22. Again, Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers won MVP for the second year in a row. The Offensive Player of the Year, Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp, who's also the Super Bowl MVP. The Offensive Rookie Player of the Year, Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase. He won that award. The Defensive Player Rookie of the Year, Dallas Cowboys linebacker Michael Parsons. The Defensive Player of the Year was linebacker Pittsburgh Steelers TJ Watt. The Coach of the Year was head coach of the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel. The Assistant Head Coach of the Year was the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, and his name is slipping my mind, but y'all know who I'm talking about. He's Dan Quinn, I believe. He's the defensive coach of the year, assistant coach of the year. Yeah, wide receiver Cooper Kupp. Yeah, he led the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns this year. He had a heck of a statistical season, even though it's an extra game. He did. Cooper Kupp is a beast. Don't let that color of that skin fool you. He can do it. He can run every route, and he ain't a speed, but he can take it to the house on you. So Cooper Kupp was the AP Offensive Player of the Year, and the Comeback Player of the Year was quarterback Cincinnati Bengals, ice cold Joe Burrow, and the Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott came in second in that. So let's talk about these Hall of Fame inductees, and we're going to talk about three names that were left off. They were all for the first time. We had three first-time balloters that didn't make it. He thinks he's Don Beebe. Oh, yeah. He a whole lot better than Don Beebe. Now, no disrespect to Don Beebe, but no, he's a lot more talented than Don Beebe. So here's our Hall of Fame inductees, the class of 2020 that will be going into Canton, Ohio, sometime in August. Offensive lineman Tony Boselli for the Jaguars. He was the first draft pick in Jaguars history and the first Hall of Fame player in the franchise history as well. He played 91 games in 7 pro seasons. This was his 16th year of eligibility. Green Bay Packers safety Leroy Butler. He played 12 years with the Green Bay Packers. He's the only player in league history with at least 3 interceptions and 3 sacks in 3 straight seasons. And he's the creator of that famous Lambeau Leap. Number 3 going in, linebacker Sam Mills. He played in the USL before he even came to the NFL, before moving to the NFL in '86. He played for the Saints and the Carolina Panthers. He was a 5-time Pro Bowler. Mills died in 2005 after battle with intestinal cancer, so he will go in posthumously. I can't never say that word, but y'all know what I mean. Richard Seymour, 3-time Super Bowl champ with the New England Patriots. Spent 8 years with the Patriots. He spent 4 years with the the Oakland Raiders at the time. He has 57.5 sacks over his 12-year career. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler. That's Richard Seymour with the New England Patriots. Now, Bryant Young, 14-year career with the 49ers. He started all 208 games he played with them. He's a member of the All-Decade team of the 90s. 89.5 sacks and 4-time Pro Bowler. That's Bryant Young. He will be going into Canton as well. And Cliff Branch. We're going to talk about that, Shante. Hold on. Yes, just stay tuned. Hold on. Cliff Branch, 14-year career with the Raiders, 3-time Super Bowl champ, 1976, 1980, 1983. 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro. And the legendary Cliff Branch, he passed away in 2019, so his family will go accept his entry on his behalf. And Art McNally, he's known as the father of modern officiating. He served as the NFL's supervisor of officials for 24 years, 1968 to 1991. Was a field judge and referee, and he's the first on-field official ever enshrined in Canton. Yeah, I see how you spell it. That's one of them words I can't pronounce that great. So anyway, Art McNally, he's the first official referee to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, our coach, Dick Vermeil, he's one of only 7 coaches to lead 2 franchises to the Super Bowl, the Eagles in 1980 and the Rams in 1999. He coached 3 franchises, the Eagles, the Rams, and the Chiefs. His career coaching record, 126 and 114, including postseason. So Dick Vermeil, coach, will be going into the Hall of Fame. Now back to Shante. She already where we're going. The 3 players that didn't get in: former Dallas Cowboy linebacker, Denver Bronco linebacker, and Super Bowl champ DeMarcus Ware. Former Houston Texans, Andre Johnson, wide receiver, Mr. Everything, and kick returner, punt returner, wide receiver, Chicago Bears, Devin Hester. Didn't make it for the first time. Where he ranks, he has 138.5 sacks, which ranks 9th all time on the sack list. He has 171 tackle for losses. Andre Johnson for the Texans, he also played a year for the Colts, but that don't count. He has 1,062 receptions, 14,185 yards, 70 touchdowns. And Devin Hester, he has 315 punt returns for 3,695 yards, 14 touchdowns as a punt returner, and he has 5 touchdowns as a kick returner. 295 kick returns for 7,333 yards, and he caught 255 balls for 3,311 yards and 16 touchdowns. So I'm shocked. I thought DeMarcus Ware was a shoo-in. Actually, I thought all 3 of these guys was going to be a shoo-in for first ballot. But that just shows you you don't know. It's the writers. At the end of the day, they have the final say-so on who gets in and who it doesn't. Remember, I always said that I thought T.O. got the short end of the stick. He should have been the first ballot, but they made him wait three times because a lot of times these writers, they may not like you, but it ain't about liking the individual. It's about how they perform between the white lines. So that's my whole thing. And baseball is the worst at it. They the worst at not holding against players, especially with the steroid era. You probably won't ever see Barry Bonds. You won't see Roger Clemens. You won't see Pete Rose for his gambling. Those guys probably won't ever get elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame because they are so caught on the tradition and the integrity of the game. Okay. Yeah, right. So anyway, so again, former Cowboys DeMarcus Ware, former Texan Andre Johnson, and former Bears kick returner Devin Hester did not make it in, but I think eventually those guys will make it in. It may just take them another two. Yeah, I'm always shocked like that too, Shante. I thought DeMarcus Ware was a shoe-in, but it is what it is. So there you have it. That's our new class of 2022. Again, that will be enshrined into Canton, Ohio, the Pro Football Hall of Fame sometime in August. All right, let's move on to our next topic. We're talking TV host Byron Allen is making a bid to buy the Denver Broncos. Now, if you hadn't heard, the Broncos, as of February 1st, a judge has decided it's in a trust right now. The former owner of the Pat Bowlen, who owned the Broncos, died in 2019. His family is in a trust, so they technically are the owners, but they are looking to relinquish ownership of the Denver Broncos, so it's in a trust. Well, Byron Allen was told he talked to Black Enterprise, and he told us that back in 2019 in November that Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner and the owner of the Patriots, Robert Kraft, came to him and asked him that if a franchise ever came open for sale, they would like for him to look into being a owner. Now, as you know, if you don't know, the NFL that has no minority owners. There's not a minority owner that owns a team and never has been. It's the good old boys club. So we always talking. We have this situation going on with Brian Flores right now, former Dolphins coach, who's suing the NFL and a couple of teams because he feels that the racial discrimination and the hiring practices are discriminatory. So, I mean, how do you defeat that? Those things? You get some ownership. You get some Black ownership. So Byron Allen, he says, let me give you a little background. If you don't know, he started out as a comedian. He ended up transitioning. He was more of a TV host. He founded Entertainment Studios in 1993, which also includes the Weather Channel. He bought the Weather Channel some years back, which he purchased that in 2018. Now, the Forbes value the Denver Broncos at $3.75 billion. The franchise is reportedly expected to sell for more than $4 billion, which would be a record price for a U.S. sports team, $4 billion. Now, according to Google and some other things that I've checked, Allen's net worth is estimated to be between $400 million and $450 million. So he's going to have to get a little help. Here's the thing about buying franchises anyway. Most times men buy these franchises, they get an investment group together. So because that's the best way to do it, because a lot of times you don't want to invest all your money. You want to get a group together and you become a majority owner where maybe you put in the most and you be the majority owner of that franchise. So Hollywood Reporter is confirmed that Allen has an investor group. He's got him an investment group together, and he will likely make a bid between $3 billion to $4 billion. Now, with this, you have to put a 30% down on that, which will roughly be around $1 billion of that. So we're going to see. Byron Allen said he wants to buy a franchise. Now, there's going to be some other investment groups. We know Peyton Manning, I think, has an investment group that's out there. I'm sure we're going to see some other ones that's going to pop up here in the near future. But they're looking to have this franchise sold before the 2022 new season start. So you're talking about we don't have much time because the new season starts in September. I'm sorry. So we're in February. So look, we're gonna keep our eye on this. I always say if we want change, we got to get involved and we got to own our own. I mean, if we won't have to quit begging for jobs. We won't have to. Brian Flores and other coaches, Black coaches, don't have to worry about feeling like they getting interviewed just because of this Rooney Rule and it's a sham. So we're gonna keep our eye on this. Again, Byron Allen said he's gonna make a bid to buy the Denver Broncos. So we're gonna see, and I hope it happens. It's been long overdue. So our next topic, last but certainly not least, we had something happen on Thursday. We had the NBA trade deadline that went down. There were some few trades, but the biggest trade, James Harden was traded from Brooklyn to the Philadelphia 76ers for Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, and Seth Curry, and 2 first-round draft picks. The 76ers received James Harden and Paul Millsap. Now you got your sports heads been talking all week about who got the best of this and who was this and who was that. Well, I listened to Simmons' press conference today, and I listened to Harden. I thought Harden had something interesting to say. He said Philly was always his first choice back while he was in Houston. He said it didn't work out really then, but he's glad it worked out now. He said he really didn't want to get into what happened in Brooklyn. Now I think we all know what happened in Brooklyn. I think they just didn't mesh. I don't think him and Kyrie, I think him and Durant meshed because they played together before at Oklahoma City. I just think him and Kyrie didn't mesh because of Kyrie not being available. You know, his vaccination stance, so he wasn't available. And there was also some rumors about Kyrie doing lighting sage in the locker room and some other stuff, and they said that Harden would look at him crazy. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. But my thing is, Harden didn't want to be there, and he figured out a way to get out of there, and he's in Philly. Again, he did the same thing in Houston, to each his own. Now, the Simmons thing, I listened to his press conference today as well. He's not ready to play yet. He's still working on his mental health. He said hopefully he'll be ready for when they play Philly, which is March the 10th, when he go to Philly, which I'm sure the Boo Birds are going to be out for Ben Simmons. He said that he felt, it was hard for him because something was taken away from him. But actually, basketball wasn't taken away from him. He decided to not show up for training camp. He decided he didn't want to be there. Then when you decided to come to training camp, and because you were getting docked, then you didn't want to be in practice. You wasn't even in the practice, and the coach had to kick you out. So I didn't agree with him saying that something that he loved was taken away. It wasn't taken away from him. You decided. You the one chose not to show up. That was your choice. So I couldn't get with that. And he said that there's a lot of things were building up with the Philly organization. It started prior to that Atlanta Hawks series where that's where he got scrutinized big time in that game 6. So again, I guess a fresh start for both. A lot of times, sometimes you just need a fresh start, scenery. I think Philly still probably won the best of this trade. I think Brooklyn will be okay. I think this would be a better situation for Simmons because I think a lot of pressure will be off because you got Kyrie and you got Kevin Durant there to do the load of the scoring. So I think this probably will end up being a better situation for Ben Simmons, but I think Philly really did get the best of this trade. So on March 10th, circle your calendars. That's when Ben Simmons go back to Philly, and we know how them Philly fans are. Them Philly fans do not play. They don't play. They don't care who you are. They're gonna let you have it in NFL or the NBA. So we're gonna look forward to that. Again, I hope Ben get it together. I hope he learned a better way to do business. Because I just didn't like the way that he tried to make it seem like he was the victim. I don't know if he was the victim in this. He just got to toughen up a little bit. And I know mental health isn't no thing. I'm not downplaying that either because I know athletes do go through that situation. They human. They still human. I get it. And there's a lot of pressure on them to perform, especially when you're a young dude like him. He was picked in the top 10. A lot of pressure. You're playing in Philly. I get it. But, you just got to get better, man. At the end of the day, work on your game instead of being on social media posting all this other stuff, man. That's what Shaq was saying. He said, work on your game. You know where your liabilities are. Work on your game, man. So, and don't be pouting when you read stuff about you. Quit reading the headlines and getting in your feelings. But it's easy for me to say. So that's the big thing there. That's the big NBA news. Nets 76ers made the big trade, and both guys are happy. So we're down to my final thoughts. Final thoughts is I thought the Super Bowl was the game itself. I thought it was entertaining. It was a clean game. Was it ranked in one of the best Super Bowls I've watched? Probably not, but I mean, it wasn't bad. The teams. I'm happy for Matthew Stafford. He finally got out of Detroit, Texas guy from Highland Park. He won the Super Bowl. I didn't have a dog in the fight because I'm a Packer fan, so I could care less. I just wanted a good game. The Bengals, they did their thing. They just came up a little short. So the Super Bowl is about entertainment. Halftime entertainment is about entertainment. I think sometimes we want a little bit more than what we expect. The halftime entertainment is only 13 minutes. They're not there to give you a concert. So just take it as for entertainment. Enjoy it or not enjoy it, but to each his own. We like what we like. So I hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl. We ain't got no football until April. Guess what? The USFL is back. We're going to talk about that too coming up too. We're going to talk about the United States Football League. If you remember that from the 80s, just sit tight. It's coming back in April. So thanks for everybody for tuning in, for Shantae, for the Real Estate Insider, for Lamar. Thanks for all that tune in. Make sure you don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Follow it on Facebook and all that good stuff, and TFG TV. Make sure you follow us. You like and you share and you do all that good stuff on Facebook and YouTube as well. Again, so this has been a great Tuesday evening. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'm your sports guy, Kendrick Henderson. You'll see here again next Tuesday at 6:30. So, again, you guys have a good evening. I'm out. Peace.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa. I hit record, drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming.